I think that most organizations are very focused on talent management these days, and they're leaping into trying to solve problems without first getting a clear perspective of what their senior team supports. So I think the number one issue is we're building out processes without understanding what the executives of our company want. Two is we're building out processes oftentimes by looking at what our neighbors are doing instead of what's right for us. There's a lot of benchmarking to design processes instead of thinking about what's going to work best for us. And unfortunately, there's still a lot of complexity in those solutions. So we build things out that while they're technically correct, they're very difficult to implement and they end up frustrating people in the organization. I think I will go to radically simplify the process. There really are only three things we care about in performance management. We want people to set great goals, we want them to do some coaching during the year, and we want there to be a fair evaluation of performance at the end of the year. That doesn't need to be a complex set of activities. And to the extent that we can make those very important activities radically simple and easy for our managers to use, they're much more likely to use them. And we know that if people engage in each of those three steps well, then we get great business benefits from it. I certainly am, in two ways. First, some organizations simply want to understand the quality and depth of talent to a much deeper level. So it's great to know if we have a successor to the CEO, but it's even better to know what does the pipeline look like moving from manager to director and director to VP. And so I do see more organizations wanting to have those insights because that's a risk management challenge. Do we have enough people in this organization to meet our business goals? And also what I'm finding is that for very specific or high value roles, a particular type of scientist or engineer or maybe a new media specialist, roles where we really need to understand who's going to move into that role if we somehow, if for some reason we lose that person. I'm seeing more succession planning around those very critical roles in organizations. I think it's certainly possible to create great talent and have them leave, but if you've done the right things in creating them, which probably means giving them really good experiences and really good exposure to different parts of the organization, odds are they're going to stick around for as long as they think you're going to continue to do that. So great talent really wants to be developed. They want to learn, they want to grow. At the point where you stop giving them the opportunity to do that, they're going to start looking around to see who else can give that to them. But there are certainly many organizations who grow talent from the ground up and retain them throughout their careers because first, they have a great culture that people actually want to participate in, and secondly, they have a deal that seems like a fair one for that individual. In other words, I'm going to give you a great experience, you're going to give us great performance back. I think becoming too focused on the traditional HR solutions to business problems and not thinking very objectively about what's the actual problem we're trying to solve. So not leading with we need performance management or we need succession planning or we need a 360, but really thinking about what did the business say is the problem that needs to be solved and what's the easiest possible way to solve that problem.